So, after doing some research, you know what I found? I found out that the social media and the content creator economy is projected to approach $500 billion by 2027. Yes, y'all, $500 billion. And this explosive growth means more opportunities for creators like us to secure lucrative brand deals and partnerships. Now, in a little bit, I'm going to be sharing with you guys a personal story of how I was able to land a $10,580 brand deal. And this wasn't too long ago. But when I landed my first brand deal, you guys, I had about maybe 1,000 followers on Instagram and only like a couple thousand subscribers on YouTube. TikTok, let's not even talk about TikTok. I barely was even on TikTok. I had maybe less than 1,000, definitely less than 1,000 followers on TikTok. So if you're thinking that you need a massive following to start landing profitable paid brand deals, let me tell you, you do not. You can secure brand deals even with a very small following. And in case you're wondering how is that even possible, well, you are in the right place because today I'm going to be sharing with you how I landed my first brand deal, even with a small following, and how I'm able to continue to do that today. I'm also going to be sharing with you some practical tips and strategies on how you can better position yourself to land profitable brand partnerships. And as a bonus, I'll also be sharing with you an email pitch and strategy that you can use to reach out to brands that you admire and land brand deals. So you want to be sure to stick around until the end of this episode. Now, I have partnered with quite a few brands from around 2022, the middle of 2022 to today. And I want to share with you guys my personal experience, right? Especially one where I was able to land a $10,500 brand sponsorship. Now, this sponsorship was aligned perfectly with my brand and, the type of content that I share here on YouTube, which is mostly business and like side hustle content. Now, when the brand first reached out to me, I was extremely excited because not only was I very familiar with the brand, I was also familiar with, I actually used the brand's services and their products. So it perfectly aligned and it made sense to partner with them. Now, when I ended up getting on a meeting with the brand sponsorship coordinator, is what you'd call her, or the brand campaign partnership coordinator, we basically discussed the budget, right? The budget, my rate, etc., which is something that we'll also dive in a little bit later on into this video. But to fast forward a bit, she basically asked me what my rate was, okay, for the different types of the deliverables, which brands will typically ask you. Now, instead of me just throwing out a rate, you guys, what I basically did was I asked her what the brand's budget was. And the reason why I do this is because just as a practice, right, even when I was just starting out, I was afraid that I would be undercharging. Okay. And so I didn't want to do that. So I like to throw that out there. And that's a little secret, by the way. Okay. Let me tell you, that can change the entire trajectory of the partnership. Instead of just throwing out a rate that you think you're worth, right? Ask the brand instead what their budget is. And again, that question alone can change the entire game. Now, she basically told me that the brand had no real budget. Okay. She said the brand had no real budget. And so in my head, I'm like, okay. Now, the real reason I was shocked is because this is not typically common, right? Most brands will want to negotiate the rate. And I have experienced some really low ball offers as well. And that's something you want to look out for. And, content creation, it does take time and effort. Okay, from getting either your script together or at least your notes. Okay, so you can stay on track to recording the video, to editing the video yourself, or hiring somebody to edit the video for you. It does take time and effort. So you want to make sure that you're not undercharging. Now, because of her response, I was even more confident to pitch what I believe I was worth partnering with that brand. To make things clear, this $10,000 deal, or to be exact, $10,580 brand deal, was not for a single video. Okay, let me just make that clear. It was for 2 different segments, but with the same brand. And so all in all, the coordinator, immediately agreed to the rate. We went through the contract review, the contract was signed, and boom, I landed a $10,000 brand deal. Now, let us talk about the first tip to landing your first brand deal. Now, please do understand that brands are looking for authenticity and engagement, not just numbers. Okay, they're not just looking to see that you have 100,000 or 1 million followers. You want to make sure that your content is somewhat of high quality, consistent, and reflects your unique voice. Engage with your audience regularly and build a community that trusts and values your opinions. When you share your passion genuinely, brands will notice. Okay, trust me, they do. Now, when it comes to attracting brands, building a strong personal brand is key. Your personal brand is your online identity per se. All right. So make sure that your social media profiles, your YouTube channel, and your website reflect who you are and what you stand for. Because truthfully, you guys, consistency is key, right? So I suggest creating a cohesive look and feel and regularly post content that showcases your niche and expertise. For example, I focus on business and side hustle content, right? For the most part. And honestly, I wouldn't really consider my branding perfect by any means, right? As I sometimes veer off a bit with my content, still working on it. But for the most part, my Instagram posts, YouTube videos, it consistently reflects a particular theme. And this helps brands see that I'm serious and dedicated. Now let's talk about finding and reaching out to brands. Okay, this can be a little daunting, but trust me, it's not. We're going to walk through it. All right. What if I were to tell you that there are literally dozens of platforms right now that you can sign up for that will connect you with the right brands and where brands can also reach out to you as a creator? Yes, you guys, there are literally dozens of platforms right now that you can sign up for. And essentially what you're signing up for are either branding partnership agencies or just overall platforms. If you do prefer to do most of the heavy lifting and reach out to these brands yourself, you can absolutely do that too. Just do your research, identify brands that align with your values and your audience's interests. And here is what you will do, okay? You're going to look for the contact information on their website or find their, let's say, PR or marketing managers on LinkedIn. Okay. And you want to be proactive and confident when reaching out. Now, instead of just telling you what to do, let me give you an example of how to do it. So here is an example of an effective email pitch that you can use. The subject line is going to say partnership opportunity with your name. And this subject line stands out because you're reaching out to the brand partnership contact person. Remember, these people are going through a number of emails on a daily basis. So you want to grab their attention. Then you're going to say, hi, brand contact's name. My name is your name, and I am a content creator with a passion for your niche. I have been an admirer of brand name for quite some time, and I believe that my audience of mention your follower count and platform. Now, if you prefer not to put emphasis on the follower count, maybe you think that your follower count is small, you can describe your audience instead. For example, my audience of women entrepreneurs, my audience of makeup lovers, my audience of fashion enthusiasts, whichever applies. And then you would continue, would be very interested in your products/services, both either or. I would love to discuss how we can collaborate to create engaging content that resonates with my audience and promotes your brand effectively. Looking forward to hearing from you. Best regards, your name, or warmly, your name, however you choose to close. And one of the things that's important to remember is that personalization is key. So feel free to personalize that a little bit more, okay? But make sure to tailor each pitch to the specific brand and highlight why you are the perfect fit for them. Because the truth is, they have to see how collaborating with you will also benefit them. Now let's talk about negotiating your worth, y'all. This is a big one. Now is not the time, you guys, to undersell yourself. When a brand approaches you, ask them what their budget is instead of offering your rate first. Like I talked about before, when a brand approaches you, or if a brand approaches you and asks you what your rate is, instead of just throwing that out, just ask them what their budget is. This way, you won't risk undercharging, especially if you're just starting out and you're not sure how to price your deliverables. Like I said earlier, this is what I did when brands reach out to me. Instead of me just throwing out a rate initially, I asked them what their budget is. And with that $10,000 brand deal, there was no negotiation. A lot of times brands will try to negotiate with you and all of that. But with this particular brand, there was no negotiation. So it was seamless and it was pretty easy. One thing to note is that sometimes brands are willing to pay more than you expect. Now, I will say that sometimes they will insist that you provide them with something called a rate card instead of giving you their actual budget. And if you are wondering what is a rate card, this is typically a content deliverable rate card breaking down your rates for the different types of content deliverables or the different types of like video or post integrations. Now, in addition to the rate card, I like to include a proposal pitch as well, highlighting the benefits of collaborating first, and then I'll have the rate card attached to it. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you guys, the social media and content creator industry is on track, believe it or not, to becoming a $500 billion industry by 2027. And brands are heavily investing in the influencer marketing because they see the value in authentic and engaging content. So now is the perfect time to hone your skills, build your brand, and start pitching because there is money to be made, you guys. And if everybody else can have a side hustle, walking dogs, washing cars, delivering food on the side, which are all great side hustles, you can create a lucrative side hustle sharing a valuable and engaging content on the internet, all right, and get paid for your efforts, especially if you're going to share anyway. And to help you guys get started with that, I'm going to be including below, you can find it in the comments, the pinned comments, or in the description. I'm including the media kit that I personally use to pitch the brands or when brands reach out to me and ask me for this media kit. And so this kit is going to include a customizable media kit. That's where like you're highlighting your geographics, your stats, male, female, your engagement rate, stuff like that, the type of content that you create, a little bit about you, all of that. It's literally going to be plug and play. So you'll be able to throw your picture in there and throw what applies to you in there, but it's already designed for you to plug and play and customize. Additionally, it also includes an email pitch that you can use to effectively communicate and pitch to brands. And as a bonus, I'm including dozens of platforms and agencies where you can immediately sign up for, regardless of if you have a small following or not. Okay, you do not need a massive following to sign up for these programs to be connected with brands to start collaborating and making money. We'll also include some affiliate programs that you can immediately sign up for and start making commissions or start making affiliate income, you guys, even before you start partnering with brands, if you choose to. That way you can, sort of get your feet wet, start making some money, and as a way of building your portfolio, right? If you want to prove to brands or show brands that you are able to attract an audience or attract customers. Oh, and I'm also including the proposal that I use with the rate card. So some of you may not know exactly what a rate card is. It will also include the breakdown of the rate card that I use and the proposal that will get brands to tell you yes. So again, if you want a copy of this email, the entire media kit that you can use to pitch the brands, you can find it in the description and in the pinned comments below. Because truthfully, when brands reach out to you or when you find a brand that you want to work with, you want to be ready. Okay, you want to have everything ready that you can just send to them versus trying to figure out what it is that you need, how to do it, how to put it together, what to say, all of that. You'll be able to just plug and play all day. And if I can do it, you guys, if I can land profitable paid brand sponsorships, so can you. In the beginning, I didn't really think that it was possible. It just sounded foreign to me. It just sounded like it was something that people with hundreds and thousands or millions of subscribers could do. But I'm here to tell you that even you as a small or micro influencer content creator, you can land profitable brand deals, and brands are looking for people like you, okay? You may not think that you have anything to offer, but I'm telling you right now that you do. And when you do land your first brand sponsorship, be sure to come back and let me know. Until next time, beautiful people, it's your girl Shibivia. It was an absolute pleasure. Let's continue to grow those businesses together, and I'll see you guys later. Be blessed. Bye.